All right, welcome everybody. We are so happy that you're on. We're so happy to and so excited to just pour into you guys tonight and get you guys off to just the strongest start. So if you're on the Zoom, you've either just joined during this amazing $9.99 promotion, which I just want to go ahead and say real quick has never happened before. I'm sure you all know, you were probably told by your enroller, but this is seriously incredible. Like, we're all freaking out about this. We're all just as excited as you probably are, because this has never been done in our company's history. But you know, when you work for a faith-based, debt-free company, you know, they can do things like this. So this is incredible. So we're so happy to have you guys on. And then those of you who are still new, but maybe didn't sign up during this promotion, but have been with us a little while, you know, we're so happy you guys are on too. The best way that you can grow your business is to show up. We always say in our business, you have to show up to go up. So it's so, so important to, you know, make time to learn and to grow. So my name is Brittany Hayes. If you're on the Zoom, I am your Double Diamond upline. Whether I enrolled you or not, you're on my team. We're all one big family here. And so I am here for any of you guys, anything that you need. My door is always open. And then, hey, Tiff, real quick, will you type in the chat for me to Haley? I know why she can't hear. She needs to click connect using internet audio. That's why she can't. If you don't click that, then you won't be able to hear. But anyways, and then I'm going to let the other girls introduce themselves. We have two of our amazing leaders from Fire Tribe on here, and they're going to help pour into you guys tonight, and I'm so, so excited. Jordan, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Jordan. I am in Austin, Texas. I know you guys are from all over the place. I am a Ruby trying to go in for Diamond. I'm charting for Diamond, guys. So I'm skipping Emerald altogether and going for the big bang. But yeah, I am a mom. I'm married. I have a little 1-year-old toddler running around, and pretty crazy life. So. That's about it.
Tiff, do you want to unmute yourself and introduce yourself? Hold on, I'm going to unmute her. Tiff, are you on here? Okay, hold on just a second, guys. I don't know where Tiffany went. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe her call dropped. Okay. When she gets back on, we'll let her introduce herself. But anyways, I'm so excited for you to hear from everybody tonight. We all are, like I was telling you just a second ago, we're all like one big family. We all want you to succeed. This business has absolutely changed all of our lives. And it can change you guys too. So something you'll hear a lot as you're in the business longer is you'll hear Mark say, and you'll hear Pam say, and other leaders, you'll hear them say, give us a year and it'll change your life. And I just want to reiterate, I just hit my 1 year just a few days ago. And in 1 year, it's changed everything for us. We went from a struggling one-income family to being 6-figure income earners. I retired my husband. He's home with us full time. We've got 4 little kids and get to raise them together. We live in our dream location at the beach. And, you know, guys, I'll be honest with you, it was hard work, but it was hard work I would do 10 times over to have the freedom that I have now. So whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, I just want you to know they're more than attainable with this company. You just need to be consistent, and you need to believe in yourself, and just be, you know, always be learning and always be improving, because you give this company 1 year of consistent hard work. I promise you, a year from today, you won't even recognize your life anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started and jump right into like what you need to, you signed up, you're a distributor now. What do you need to do now? And so the first step is, I'm sure whoever enrolled you tagged you in some sort of a training video. They probably tagged you in a welcome training, and they may have tagged you in like a thread of other training videos as well. Watch those ASAP. The initial welcome training, you definitely need to watch, you know, right away. and let your enroller know if you have any questions at all. But then after that, that thread of other training videos, which if you weren't tagged in it, it's the pinned post on Fire Tribe. It's really easy to find. You want to click on that and you want to, hold on one second. Oh, hey, Jordan, will you mind sending Tiff the Zoom? Okay. Oh, you're on the message, sorry. But anyways, you want to click that thread and watch those trainings. Just be a sponge these first couple weeks and just watch as much as you can, take notes, ask questions. But those trainings are going to be like what really sets you up for success. So that's one of the first things that you're going to want to do. The next little step that I would say to do when you first get started is to make your first post. So the best advice that I can give is don't wait. Don't wait for your kit to come in. Don't wait until you feel like you have all the answers or you know everything, because the fact of the matter is you're never going to know everything in this business. I mean, there's things that I'm still learning on a day-to-day basis. There's things Jordan and Tiffany are still learning on a day-to-day basis. Like, you'll never not have questions. You'll never have it all figured out. So the best way to really get a strong start is to start and to just get going, jump right in and just, Mike Patillo always says, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So just get going and let your excitement be, contagious. After you make your first post, make sure you utilize your enroller and your team for, any questions you have. If there's conversations that start and you're kind of not sure what to say, that's okay. That's what we're here for. I always tell people you can screenshot us anything and just, really utilize us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you succeed. So nobody on this team signed you up just to sign you up and then just leave you and you just figure it all out on your own. Everybody is truly invested in your success, but the only way that we know you need help is if you come to us. So yeah, first steps, just watch those training videos, get that first post out, and then, really ask questions and get going. So that's kind of the basic things when you first get started, but I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Tiffany, and she's going to kind of give you like some, the inside scoop of like, okay, you made your first post, maybe you're even a few days in the business, like now what do you need to do now?
Hey everyone, sorry about that. I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so as far as what you need to do now, you definitely need to focus on the training videos. Once you've watched one doesn't mean you've watched all of them. So watch as many training videos as you can, because you can never learn enough in this business. Another thing that I highly recommend is to definitely focus on self-development, because that's really what's increased my confidence in the business and what's made me, go all in. So make sure you're all in, make sure you believe in yourself and you can do this, because you can and you will. And then also one thing I wanted to say, because I know there's a lot of you that work full-time. I work full-time. I have a full-time, very demanding job. I would really focus on working out your posts the night before, because if you have them planned out, it's easy to just kind of jump on and post them throughout the day and get those out of the way, and be checking in with, your potential customers, your current customers. Always check in, follow up with them. And you could do that on your lunch breaks or whenever you have time available, which is what I do. Another thing is to make sure, like, if you have a day, like, okay, for me, I really don't put makeup on every day. Like, I really prefer just to get up, get dressed, and go. Like, I'm not a big makeup person every day. I don't do my hair every day. So if you have a day where you look extra, just great, and you feel awesome and confident, take pictures and stack up those selfies for yourself and change out your shirts. That's a great tip I learned from one of the uplines. Just, put on different shirts and take a bunch of selfies, and then you can use those throughout the day or throughout the week or month, however many you take, to make extra posts and just to keep that social media feed going. So that's pretty much all I got.
Sorry guys, I'm muted. I was just talking away. Okay, what I said when I first got on was my internet cut out, and so I didn't catch the last little bit, but I think it's better now. But I'm gonna pass it over to Jordan in just a second, and I love hearing Tiffany and Jordan's perspectives back to back like this because, like Tiffany was just telling you guys, she works a full-time, really demanding job, but Jordan, on the other hand, is a stay-at-home mom, but does do a lot of other stuff on the side and is a military family. And so I love hearing them both back to back give you their perspectives on how they effectively work this business and manage their time, because it just further goes to show you that anybody can be successful at this business. So I'm excited for, those of you that are new. I know there will be someone's story that kind of relates to you a little more than others. And I'm excited for you to, kind of catch on to what you feel like is going to work for you. So Jordan, do you want to take over?
Oh, I muted myself back. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know you could unmute me. First of all, I love that tip about doing the selfies and just changing out your shirt. I hadn't heard that before. And I'm like, oh man, that's such a good idea. So, because I'm, okay, so I'll just go ahead and start with mine. So I do work part-time. I work like sometimes 2 days a week at a daycare where I can take my son with me. But for the most part, I'm home, but it's definitely not like, sitting at home like la-da-da, what do I do? But there's so many days that I get up and I just don't have time to put makeup on and I'm just looking a mess. So I really like that tip about when you do have makeup on, I'm going to be changing out my clothes all day and taking all kinds of pictures. So thanks for that tip. But yeah, like Brittany said, I do work part-time and I do stay at home with my son also. My husband's in the military. He is in the National Guard now. He used to be active duty, but that does still take him away from us on weekends, and during the summer it takes him away for like 2 weeks at a time. So it's a lot of, like Brittany said, it is a lot of just juggling, figuring out how, this is my first child, so I'm learning how to be a first-time mom. I'm all over the place. I'm, just trying to figure it all out. So one thing that's helped me, I try to be very intentional about not being on my phone all the time because we're a super strong social media team. And I mean, I am on my phone, like I'm on Facebook a lot anyway, like scrolling, but I want to make sure that, I'm not all the time now. When I first started, I was like, gosh, I just need to learn everything I can as fast as I can. And I felt like I was on my phone all the time. And my husband's like, can you look over here for a second? So a few days in, I had to get really intentional about, okay, I need to set apart like time and I need to set apart like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. And a tip that I got from Brittany was planning out what you're going to say. The days that I do plan out what I'm going to say, I feel like I'm on top of my game. Like I can just copy and paste. I have my pictures ready. And then the days that I don't plan ahead, I feel like I'm kind of scrambling all over the place. So that was a really good tip that I like to use and I should use more than I do. And what else was it? Hang on, y'all, I'm looking at my notes. So one thing, like when I did start this, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, and I don't even think Brittany knew I was going to talk about this, but so when I first came into the business, I was like, I cannot do this. I am a very shy person. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to do anything like that. And I had a lot of doubts like about myself and whether I could sell anything. And right away, like I just had to get my mindset right. Like I know Brittany from college and I'm like, okay, if Brittany can do this, there's no reason that I can't do it. Like this isn't somebody that's, across the country I've never met before. Like I know this girl. And I know that if she can do this, there's no reason in the world that I can't do it. So from early on, I just put my head down and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, I'll ask questions, but I'm not gonna question the process and I'm just gonna do what you guys do. And, I had to decide early on that I knew how bad I needed this to change things for my family because we were in a really tough place financially. And I knew how bad we needed it. So I decided, like I said earlier, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do what I got to do. I'm not going to question the process. I'm not going to, well, why do we do this? And why do we do that? I'm just going to do it type of thing. So, it was really worth it for me, and it has shown worth it so far, just being consistent and things. Yeah, to set my mindset to that. So, okay, that's all I have for now, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna remember to unmute myself this time before I start talking. Okay, so first of all, I love that. I love how she said, she had that moment of doubt when she got started, and, that's completely normal. So I want to talk about that next, because I know that a lot of you, you're probably just really excited, you're ready to get going, but there's a lot of you that are probably like, oh my gosh, what did I just get myself into? Am I going to be able to do what they do? And Jordan just totally nailed it. That's normal to have that feeling, but you have to stop and you've got to get your head straight, and you've got to know, okay, I felt called to this business. I felt that nudge. I wanted to do it. I joined. I'm here. I've got to just trust the process. If it's worked for this many people before me, it'll still work for me, but I have to do what, I'm supposed to do, and I can't just question everything. From the beginning, whenever I first joined, I had watched my friend on social media for an entire year before I joined. And so, I watched her go from a very similar situation as ours, struggling, one income family with 4 kids. I watched them go from that to her retiring her husband, them being 6-figure income earners. Very similar story to what we have now, only they've gone even beyond that now since I've joined. And when I joined, I literally remember just being really scared, actually terrified was more like the right word, and not knowing if I could ever be as good at it as her, but I just kept coming back to, if it worked for her, it can work for me. She didn't do anything crazy, she just did basic things. So if I just follow what, she teaches me to do, then I can do this. And that is literally all that I've done from day one, is just watch trainings and just try to be a sponge and soak it all in and just be consistent. So that is literally all you have to do. If you're on here and you're wondering, can I do what these girls are doing? The answer is yes. You just have to be consistent. You've got to be willing to be teachable and do what your, enroller's teaching you to do and what we're teaching you to do. And you've got to just trust the process. So no one is going to become, a millionaire overnight. They're not going to become a 6-figure income earner overnight. They're not going to even make a full-time income overnight in this. It does take time. It's a business, and you have to plant seeds. But what I always like to tell people, and my team's heard me say it time and time again, is if you always plant seeds, you'll always have a harvest to reap. But if you stop planting, you stop reaping. And so the key is, from day one, from right now, you're a part of the business, you've got to start planting seeds. And, you've got to trust that process, and you've got to be patient for those seeds. There's a different cycle for every seed that you plant. So some seeds, you may have to water for just a couple days and they sprout. Some seeds you may water for a couple weeks, and there may even be seeds that you water for several months, but it's totally worth it. When you do reap that harvest, you're not going to regret any of the work that you did, I promise. So if you have days that you're feeling down, do what Tiffany was saying. You've got to pour into yourself. You've got to do your self-development. We'll share our favorites on the chat of where this Zoom is. We'll all share our favorites after the Zoom, but just pick one from the list that we share that sounds good to you, and just start right away. And when you finish that, do another. But this business, even people that are in the top 10 income earners in the entire company, what you will hear them say if you ever get on a training with them is they'll say, if someone asks them, what's the number one thing you do to build your business, they always hands down every time say self-development. So don't dismiss that. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but don't get it in your head that that's just this unnecessary thing you don't need to do. Because each of us on here, all 3 of us can tell you, if we've ever had a period of our business that has suffered, it's been because we slacked on our self-development. So, and then the moment we start our self-development up, we start seeing things happen again. So definitely just utilize that. Okay. So you've gotten some really practical tips on how to manage your time, how to plan out your post, and just kind of how to really utilize good hair days, good makeup days, all of that. So basically what I want you to do is take those tips and put them into action. So you need to make sure you're posting several times a day. And it can be hard if you weren't on social media a lot before this. I know the 3 of us, none of us were really on social media a lot before we started. So let that motivate you and give you comfort and encourage you that you didn't have to have this huge presence before you started to be successful now. But start establishing yourself and start establishing trust with your audience, and just establishing a brand for yourself. So I know all three of us have a very similar way we do things. We all like to be really inspiring and motivating to people. So we start our days off with like motivational quotes, inspirational quotes. Some of the girls that are on the Zoom right now that are on our team, they are like hilarious, just the funniest people you'll ever meet. And so they start their day off with just something to make people laugh. So you don't have to do what one person or another does, but figure out like what your brand is, like what are you trying to make people feel and what do you want them to think of when they see you, and start being consistent. My number one piece of advice though that I want to give along these lines is remember that you're a business owner now. So you want to refrain from, negative things on Facebook. You want to refrain from like oversharing of like memes and just like spammy type stuff, articles and all this stuff. You want to really make sure that you're showing people what they want to see. And this isn't to say that you have to like conform for anybody. I'm just saying you need to make sure that people are attracted to your page. Like they like what you're putting out there. And so again, that could be you're being funny. That could be you're being inspirational, but it's not spammy. So don't, just make sure before you post something that you're kind of like double checking it. And you're like, is this in line for like what I'm wanting to put out there? Like the vibes I'm wanting people to feel. And then just really, really just stay away from negativity, stay away from confrontational things. You'll see, us post things where we might ask people's opinions on things. But if it's something confrontational, we'll never take a stance. We'll always remain very neutral because we don't want to alienate our audiences. So, if you're very passionate about politics, you don't want to alienate half your market by slamming one party or another. It's okay that you have a stance, but you need to kind of, when you're posting on Facebook, you need to realize that anything confrontational you post, you are gonna alienate half your market, and you want them to be attracted to you and buy from you and support your business. So you don't want to say something that's going to further, that's just going to just deter them from you. But basically that's my biggest, like, I guess, do's and don'ts is just establish your brand and then stay away from negative stuff. But I'm going to let Jordan and Tiffany both give you like what their biggest do's and don'ts are when you're getting started. Jordan, you want to go ahead and go?
Yes. Did you unmute me?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the biggest things that I think is extremely important is just being very transparent and being very personal when you post. Like Brittany was saying, we don't want to look like a walking ad, like think about when you're scrolling through your Facebook before this business, or even like our TV, like we record everything on our TV because we hate commercials. Like we literally fast forward everything. Like nobody wants to, people get on Facebook to, relate with people and they want to see what's going on with their friends. What are your kids doing? What'd you do this weekend? Things like that. So just making sure that, like Brittany said, we don't look spammy and we don't look like just a walking ad, because that's not what we are. We're people. And the biggest thing that I've learned in that area is like, I want people to buy me and not it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to be drawn to me because they feel like they connect with me. And that was a huge thing that I've learned from Brittany from day one before I even came into this business. The very first time I even noticed Brittany posting, like I had seen her post things here and there, but it didn't really pop out to me. And then she did this post about one of our products called Confianza, about, for stress relief and things like that. And she did the most real, like honest post about how she had been dealing with postpartum I don't know if you'd call it depression or anxiety. She was just having a lot of anxiety. And I was reading this thing with like tears in my eyes and I'm like, me too. Like, I can't believe she's talking about this right now. Like I felt so connected to her. And that from that moment forward, even though it wasn't until, gosh, I don't even know when you posted that, Brittany. It was like maybe months later that I even started the business, but that was what caught my attention. And from that point forward, I never really commented. I don't think I ever commented on your stuff or liked your stuff, but I was watching because I felt like I related with her. So all that to say, being you and being open, like for a lot of people, that's not an easy thing. Like a year ago for me, that would not have been an easy thing to let people into my life. And just as I've grown and I've seen how much you can like attract people in that way, like I'm so much more open to that. So just posting, like about your day, like if you have kids, making sure you incorporate those family posts throughout the day and not only talking about it works, but just incorporating it into your life. And, the biggest thing I wrote down, I keep saying the biggest thing, they're all the biggest things to me, is people just want to feel understood. People want to think that you care, and you do want to care. People want to know that you care about them and that it's not just about you making money, and it's not just about, doing something for you. They want to know that you care about them personally and that you're taking time to like step into their world and hear them. So I think that's all that I have to say there.
I love that. I love how she just emphasized, guys, people just want to know that you care. It is seriously so true. There's so many people out there they're just looking for a friend. They're just looking for someone to connect with. So many of us join this business for the financial freedom, but I'm going to be really honest with you. There's a lot of people that don't join it for the financial freedom at all. They join it for friends. There's many people that will join that are actually kind of financially stable. I mean, yeah, extra money is good for anybody. I mean, who doesn't want extra spending money? But there's a lot of people who join because they just want those relationships. They see how caring we are, and they see us be really real, and they see us, help other people. And as you're in the business longer and you're posting about friendships you've made, they see that and they're like, okay, I really want that. And extra money wouldn't hurt either. So the more real and the more relatable you are, the better. So I know I'm a very reserved person. Jordan and I have talked about this a lot, and Tiffany and I have talked about this. It's always been kind of hard for me to like really open up. And I think a lot of that just stems to like childhood, having like kind of a judgmental family and stuff. But this business has like really taught me that, when you open up, that can bless people that you weren't even expecting, and people who weren't even on your radar can literally really be touched by your small moment of vulnerability. So I always, I just want to encourage you guys, if you're kind of like that too, and you're very reserved and keep to yourself, just every now and then just take a second and just get really real with somebody or your market on Facebook or Instagram, because there's going to be somebody, I promise, like Jordan said, that's reading it, and they may not even say anything to you at that very moment, but there's going to come a day when you realize that like that one post, really spoke to them and really stood out to them. So anyways, I love that. I'm going to give it over to Tiff now. I know she's got some awesome tips for you guys too. Tiff, what are your biggest like do's and don'ts with when you get started?
Okay, my biggest do is to consistently post, because if you aren't consistently putting those posts out there, you're not planting seeds. And I promise you, I was there like in everybody's shoes where they're like, oh, I'm not getting anybody, nobody's biting, nobody's showing any interest. But if you keep going, I'm telling you, a couple weeks down the road, like your inbox is going to be flooded. So just don't give up. Don't let that get you down because you're not getting immediate responses. That's probably my biggest tip. Just don't stop posting. And my second is to always follow up with people. Even if it's not on Fridays, it can be any day of the week. If you just feel like you really need to reach out to that person who might have been interested a week ago or a couple of days ago, reach out to them. Don't think that you have to follow up only on Fridays. And probably my third biggest tip is when you do start signing your loyal customers, always check in with them. Constantly check in with them. Make sure everything's working out for them, because that's how you retain those customers, because you want to make sure you're, changing the product. If that certain product's not working for them, maybe add another product to help them get to the goal that they're wanting. So those are probably my three biggest do's and don'ts.
I love that. And what Tiffany said about, keeping that relationship going with your customer after they've ordered is seriously gold, because we don't ever want anybody to feel like, we're talking to them to get the sale, and once they bought from us, we're done with them. So you want to make sure, you're still interacting with them, you're still being, taking interest in their life. And what she was saying about catching if they are unhappy with something, if they are unhappy with something, you want to be on that. Like, you want to have checked in before they got to the point where they were just like annoyed at the situation. A lot of times it can be something very simple as like their body just didn't react as well to something as like all of our other customers' bodies, you know, reacted. And it's something as simple as like, we find it out and we might have to go ask our upline a couple questions like, hey, have you ever heard of this happening? And they're like, oh yeah, there's this really rare case where this person has this reaction to it. And we're like, okay, great. What should they get? And then we can take that feedback back to them and be like, okay, I think this is what happened. I really think you'd have better luck with this. But if you're not checking in with people, you know, you won't know that. And your customer is just going to kind of silently get frustrated. So, about the customers, that kind of leads me to like my next just real foundational thing. I feel like anyone that's a newbie needs to know. And those of you that have been with us longer, you already know this, but that's okay. So whenever somebody wants to be your customer and they want to buy from you, there's two ways that they can become your customer, but only one way that we really recommend and that you'll probably ever really run into. So they can be a retail customer or they can be what we call a loyal customer. And so a retail customer, they just order something one time and they pay premium price. They pay retail price for it. You do technically make more money off of a retail customer, but here's the thing. It's a one-time payout that you get off of it. And we're all about financial freedom in this business. We're all about residual income. And so this is where being a loyal customer is so much better for your customer and it's better for you too. So if they are a loyal customer, they get 40% off of their purchase by agreeing to try something for 3 months. So we just usually word it like if someone were to come to us today, it's still June, we'd say, oh, I can give you 40% off the cleanse. And after your purchase today, you just agree to try something in July and in August. That's a very simple way to explain, a very non-scary way to explain. And then they get 40% off, not only on their July and August purchases, but they actually get to keep that discount for life. So it's an amazing, amazing deal for them. But where the customer retention really comes in is after that 3 months, you can count on that income coming in for 3 months, which is awesome. But if you are good at, keeping that relationship with your customers and just, checking in with them and they have that sense of loyalty towards you, there's a huge chance they're going to keep ordering after that. Our company makes it so easy to keep your customers by they give them a $50 gift card if they order for 6 consecutive months, and they give them $150 if they order for 12 months. So all we have to do is just keep a good relationship with our customers and let them know that. And 9 times out of 10, if they have the money, they're going to keep ordering. So customer retention is huge. So definitely think of the bigger picture and keep that relationship going. Just make sure you treat your customers well. They're definitely the meat and potatoes of this business. I have people ask me all the time, they're like, oh, do I have to sign distributors to make money? And my answer to them is customers are just as important as distributors in this business. You could have, 100 distributors, but if none of you sign any customers, no one's making any money. So, our customers are, ultimately how we, provide for our families with this business. So you want to treat them really well. Okay, so that was the gist of that section that I wanted to cover. Hold on one second, guys. Let me pull up my notes because I don't want to be too scattered. I want you guys to be able to soak in the important stuff and then get to work tonight. Okay. Okay. So I think the next big thing that I wanted to touch on with you guys is just whenever you do have someone reach out to you, a lot of times, they may order right then and there, but a lot of times you may have to follow up with them several times. I know both Tiff and Jordan, sorry if you can hear my crazy kids. I know both Tiff and Jordan, touched on this, and Tiffany was talking about, you don't have to just follow up on Friday. So what we have a little phrase we say on our team, and it's called Follow Up Fridays. And so Fridays, we just in general, we'll go through our list of anybody that we've ever talked to, and we'll follow up with them. But what Tiffany was saying is you don't always have to just follow up on Friday. So if there's another day that you're thinking about somebody and they're just on your mind, you're like, I haven't talked to them in like a week. I wonder if they were still, interested in hair, skin, and nails. Go ahead and follow up with them then. You don't have to wait till Friday. But just as a general rule, anyone that you talk to, get something to keep yourself organized. If you're like a heavy, like electronic person, like you do everything on your phone, you can keep a running list in your phone. If you're a pen and paper girl like me, you can keep a list like in a notebook or your planner. What I do is I have a section of my planner at the back that is a note section, and I have several lists. I have potential customers, potential distributors, current loyal customers, and then I have all my distributors written down. And so what I'll do is if someone ever reaches out to me about a product, their name instantly goes down on the potential customer list. And then whenever they sign, I highlight them. And so that way when I'm doing my follow-ups, it's really easy. I can go through and I can quickly like check in with the people that are not highlighted. And then as you're signing customers, make sure you're writing them down too, because it may not seem like a big deal in the beginning, but all of us have been there before where all of a sudden you have signed a lot of customers and it is a big deal. You're like, oh my gosh, like where do I find this info? So just start from the beginning early on, stay really organized and keep them written down in the list. And that'll make your business flow so much more smoothly as you grow. But anyways, reverting back to a few sentences ago, the fortune is in the follow-up. So we don't always get customers the first time we talk to them. So if you talk to somebody and you get really excited and then they don't actually place the order that day, don't get discouraged and don't think there's anything wrong with you. Like sometimes you really have to follow up with people several times, and it's not that they don't want it. It can be so many reasons. It can be they just got sidetracked. It can be a money thing. Maybe they were embarrassed to say it was money, but it was. So just take that to heart and know and understand that it is part of the game. You've got to follow up. I like to follow up with my potential customers weekly and bi-weekly, depending on who they are. And I usually do follow up Fridays, but I do utilize what Tiffany said. If like it's a Tuesday and someone's heavy on my mind, I don't ignore that. I go ahead and I'm like, they're on my mind. I'm just going to see what's going on with them. And I've signed, many people that way. So definitely go with your gut in this business for sure. But one thing that we recommend is just no matter what personality you are, whether you're a naturally direct person or whether you're more shy. I know all three of us are kind of shy. Like we may not seem like it on this Zoom, but all of us, if you put us in a room full of people, are pretty shy people. Like we're not the life of the party. We're kind of, can be a little introverted here and there. So if we can do this, so can you. Just want to lead with that. But you have to be direct and you have to be assertive if you're going to really effectively get things done. So we recommend just really short, sweet, direct sentences for your follow-ups like, hey girl, were you still interested in the cleanse? Or, hey girl, were you ready to get your cleanse ordered? That's the best way. So don't feel like you've got to send them a big paragraph and beat around the bush, just real short, sweet, direct. People appreciate that, especially if they're busy. They'll be like, oh yeah, actually I do still want to order that. But anyways, that's enough about that, about follow-ups. But I think that pretty much covers the gist of what me and, or what Tiffany and Jordan and I were going to talk about. I am going to come around one more time and see if they have anything to add, but I'm going to let Zach give a couple quick tips for men real quick. I know we had several new male distributors that joined the past couple of days, and we're so excited about this. This business is not just for women, guys. There are several men in the business that are totally rocking it out. So if you're a woman on here and you know a man that you really think would be good at it, but you've wondered like, oh, can men really do this? The answer is yes. And if you have a husband or a boyfriend or a fiance and you really you want them to be more involved, maybe you just started and they're totally not open to that right now, but deep down in the back of your head, you're like, I would love to retire them one day and then be home with me. I would definitely, have them listen to some of Zach's tips, because when I started, Zach was still working a full-time job, a very demanding job. He was gone a lot. And quickly, I would say a couple months into the business, he realized, he saw the vision too. And I'll never forget the day that he said to me where he was like, Britt, you can do this. And I was like, well, gee, thanks. I know I can do it. And he was like, no, you really can do this. He was like, you can retire me with this. And I'm like, I can. You really think I can? He was like, yeah, I know you can. I have no doubt that you're going to. And that further fueled me. So I love it so much when, someone else on the team kind of has that same revelation with their spouse. And I know both Jordan and Tiffany have had a similar experience where, maybe in the beginning, Tiffany's engaged and Jordan's married. And I know both with Tiffany's fiance and with Jordan's husband in the beginning, neither one of them really fully understood what this was. They were like, okay, you can do it, but I don't know much about it. But there was a point with both of them where, their husbands realized okay, there is something to this. You keep going, doing your thing. So definitely don't count that out. There is a place for, your spouse in this business. And there's a place for any men that you meet that can be really good at this. So Zach, are you on here?
I am here. So you've heard from my sugar mama already. Oh gosh. Yeah. So bear with me here. I've got a baby who I'm running out of lotion bottles to give him. So we're hanging tight in the room over here. So anyway, guys, first of all, I want to tell everybody that all of you, men and women, you have your hands on an amazing golden opportunity here. What you have just agreed to will absolutely not only change other people's lives through the products, but will also change your life through this business. It has brought us, I mean, I know Brittany's already told you, but it brought us up from, I mean, we were making, it's hard to describe how little amount of money we were actually making. We don't fully understand how we made it. Like, we don't get it. We don't know how in the world we didn't end up in a homeless shelter somewhere. We were making so little money. But guys, this company in a year has brought us from rock bottom up to living in our dream location at the beach. You just give it hard work. There's my wife. You give it some hard work, and guys, you can go unimaginably far with this business. So do not ever forget that. What exactly you have in your hands. It is golden. It has the power to change your life and your whole family's legacy. So always, if you have any down days where you start to doubt yourself, remember, you have the golden egg in your hand. You just have to work hard and give it a year, and it will change everything. Now I'll stop rambling. Guys, you have an amazing opportunity in your hands. Guys, my wife has worked this business a little bit longer than I have because I was working full time. We have 4 kids too, so I was taking care of these munchkins when I was off. But guys, you have, these products are not just for women. I use them all throughout the day. I use the cleanser for my face, even all the skincare. I use that because we're at the beach now, so I have to take care of my skin. So I use the cleanser. I use the protein shakes. If you work out, the ProFit is amazing. It's an incredible protein shake. It tastes better than anything I've ever had with whey protein, and our shake is amazing as well. I don't know any man that works out that doesn't use a protein shake, and ours is absolutely phenomenal. We have an amazing line of supplements. The #1 buyer of supplements in America is who? Men. Men buy more supplements than women, tenfold. And we have a full line of supplements from fat fighters to help you lose weight and block out the carbs to ThermoFit to help you burn more calories when you work out. There's a huge amount of things that you can sell as a man. We have energy drinks, which almost every man drinks an energy drink. But we have a healthier and better alternative to it. So there's a crazy amount of. You are a ham. You know that, right? You're a ham. But there's an incredible amount of stuff that you can market specifically to any man, absolutely any man you meet. And also, do not neglect the. Oh goodness gracious, Brady! I'm bringing you the baby real quick. I can't even hear myself talk. He's like that. So oh. He's so cute. But do not neglect the packs as well. We just came out with a brand new men-centered line of products. They're the same products, but they're packaged and they're presented specifically for men to utilize in marketing. So if you haven't already plugged in, it's called it's Man Up. Brady, what's it called? I have like camera freezing.
The man, the myth, and the legend, right? I thought that was what it was.
We're both having a brain.
Jordan and Tiffany, aren't those what the new packs are called? I'm pretty sure it's the man.
Yeah, that's what the packs are called. But what's the Facebook page?
Mandare.
Mandare. There we go. Don't neglect Mandare. Believe it or not, I'm on there. It's had a brain freeze. But if you go on to Mandare, it gives you a whole breakdown. There's some sweet videos you can share from the CEO and the CNO and all of those, where they kind of break down everything. And there's some videos on there to teach you like how to market this to men. So connect with me, and I can help you out with any kind of wording you need if you're talking to any of your potentials. But yeah, seriously, I'm a great resource to you guys. So don't hesitate to contact me. And also, there's several different ways there's a couple ways you can work this business. And it's basically the same thing the women do. We can do it from social media. So we can do it all on Facebook, which I highly recommend. And we also, certain men like me are more geared towards face-to-face. I'm very outgoing, and I'll absolutely talk to anybody. And so, I'm on the pier fishing, and I'm talking to every single person that comes by on that pier. And I'm trying to spark up a conversation with them. That's just what I do. and I've gotten a few potentials from it. So I never neglect an opportunity to talk to somebody about the business. And as a man, the easiest way that I find to talk about the business with another man is when two men are talking, 9 times out of 10, your work is going to get brought up. They're going to say, oh, what do you do for a living? Or if you know the person, hey, how's work going? And what I've always done is I just, whatever job I've currently have, I just throw it out the window. I'm like, hey, I'm actually, my work is doing great. I just joined a business called It Works Global. Have you heard of it? And that's a great segue into blitzing or talking to anybody about the business. So it's really quite simple. That's the template that I basically use for everybody. I talk to them until they ask me what I do. And then I just kind of, just jump into what I do. And I always ask them, we kind of sell those wraps and we sell, whatever. I usually leave with a wrap because everybody just heard of it. Almost a lot of people have heard of the wraps. So usually like, oh yeah, I think I've seen that on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, but actually, if I'm talking to a man, I'll be like, yeah, but actually we have over 40 different products. And I kind of go into, talk to them about the different things that I think would, spark their interest. So you can pretty much bring this up to anybody, anywhere, anytime. I talk to men, women, everybody I can possibly think of, grandmas. Everybody needs this product, guys. So that just goes back full circle to you have a golden opportunity in your hand. Don't neglect it. Just realize what exactly you have, because I promise you, this business works 100% of the time that you do. If you don't work, it doesn't work 100% of the time. So put the work in and be patient, be diligent, and this will change everything for you. I promise. Man, I think that's about all I got, Brett. I'm good on everything I've got.
Seriously, Zach is living proof that anyone can work this business no matter what their personality is, because I am so introverted and he's so extroverted. And look at us. We both have our own unique ways that we work the business, but they're both very effective. So, while I'm stronger on social media, like he said, he literally talks to everybody when he's out and about. So whatever your personality is, I hope you kind of picked up on, something that one of the 4 of us talked about tonight, because seriously, there is no way you can fail at this unless you flat out just don't try. You have a hugely supportive team behind you that is like one big family that wants to help you succeed and will help you succeed. So if you're willing to put in the effort and you believe in yourself, I promise you guys, 1 year from today, you're going to find yourself looking back saying, wow, like they said, give me a year and it would change my life, and my life's completely changed. So anyways, that being said, I'm going to let Tiff and Jordan both give their last final tip that they want to leave you guys with. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to unmute you, Tiff, and you can go ahead and go first.
Okay. My last tip that I've been implementing recently that's really, really helped seal the deal with a lot of my recent LCs, loyal customers. Make sure you're using the voice message feature. If you have that on your Facebook Messenger, you should. Also, if you have an iPhone, if you get their phone number, use the voice messaging feature. That is key. It's crucial because you can express your excitement and just how ready you are to sign them up and how excited you are to tell them about this product through your voice. That's more important than anything, I think, by far. That's it.
I love it. Seriously, guys, golden right there. Please do not neglect the advice she just gave you. Voice messaging is absolutely huge, and it will change your business. There is something about someone hearing your voice versus reading. And when they hear your voice, there's a level of trust that happens, and there's a wall that breaks down. And all of a sudden, something that may have taken, weeks and weeks and weeks or months of conversations, now all of a sudden can speed up a lot faster because they trust you and they know you're genuine. They know you're sweet. They know you're kind. They know you're caring. And it's not to say that they might think you're not those things over a text, but they wouldn't be as certain. So seriously, voice message. All right, Jordan, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you.
Okay, so my final tip would just be to stay consistent. I know right now everybody, people that are new, it's super exciting and you're like, oh yes, full force. And I mean, we all come to days where we feel like we've gotten in a slump where we're not really getting a lot of attention on Facebook with our posts and things like that. And just be consistent. Know that even if people aren't commenting, if people aren't liking, people are seeing your stuff. I mean, it's Facebook. There's so many people that are seeing it that you don't realize. So just stay consistent, keep posting, and in those moments where you start to like doubt yourself, or you doubt if people are watching, or just feel like you're in a slump, don't give up. Just keep pushing. And like Brittany said, and like Tiffany said, you know, just give it a year and it's going to change your life. That's all.
I love it. Seriously, guys, this is just golden. This is everything you need to know to like just get started and start running. I guess my final tip that I would leave you guys with is just don't wait. If you're brand new, do not wait. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. I know you're nervous, and I know there's something inside of you that's just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know what to do. But don't wait. It will be the biggest mistake that you make. Delaying, there's just no point in it. You know, you join this business, you're a part of the company now. You obviously wanted to for a reason. So just don't wait. If you need some further direction after this Zoom, you know, go to your upline, go to who enrolled you, go to one of the leaders on this team, because we'll all point you in the right direction. And whatever, you know, specific training you need for whatever your reservation or issue is, you know, we'll help you with that. So just don't wait, just get started. And just, you know, utilize the support that's all around you, because this is a rare company that has such unique support and that provides training for everything under the sun. So yeah, that's pretty much my tip. Start growing your network, start making new friends, and just get started. Just start posting, and you will be amazed at what, you know, slowly starts progressing over the next coming days and weeks. And yeah, we've got a lot of fun contests for you guys in the team page. We're trying to really set you guys up for success to get you off to a strong start. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out because the family call just started 2 minutes ago, which they're usually a couple minutes late. So we'll probably also be on in time. Those of you that are new, our corporate team does a family call every Sunday night at 9 o'clock Central Time. It's just about 15 minutes and no one can see you. You just literally listen in on the Wired app, or you can go to the link on like Mark or Pam's Facebook. One of them usually share it. If you don't know where to go, message your upline right after this, right after we hang up, and they'll share the link with you. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning on. We love you guys so much, and we're so thankful to have this hour with you guys. And I'll post the recording in Fire Tribe soon. Have a good night.
Good night.